losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I want to be the greatest.
Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the Game of Inches radio show. We're back with our usual suspects, Ray, and our back by popular demand, Brandon is with us tonight. So welcome back, Brandon. And special guest is none other than Kevin, my new arch enemy from our division down in the Cardinals. So welcome to the show, Kevin.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
All right, good deal. All right, so I guess we'll kick off with Ray. Ray wanted to bring some rumors he's heard.
Justin Herbert, we got Baker, Daniel Jones, if anybody, God forbid, wants him. Same deal with Russ Wilson. He's going to be there. We got Dak Prescott, the MILF hunter himself, Zach Wilson. Deshaun likes his woman Watson. Devontae Adams. Now that, Brandon, I know you don't like him, but I promise you someone's going to give a whole lot for him. We got TJ Hawkinson, Mr. Alvin Kamara, and Josh Allen. That one's kind of been rumored. I don't know if Ryan's going to end up doing it. That's a hard thing to move off of, but yeah, that's about all I got for there.
Well, those are some big names. You know, the hardest part is you cut those players, somebody ends up picking them up, and then next thing you know, they're going deep into the playoffs with this guy you couldn't make work. That's always the danger. So, but those are some big names. So, in fact, you know, Kevin, one of those names was yours, wasn't it?
Yeah, Kyler just makes too much money, so he got to go. He's like 55 to 60 million a year, I think, for the next like 5-6 years or whatever. So no thanks.
That's a lot to have a guy playing video games in his spare time. So Kevin,
as we play a video game.
Nice. All right. So Kevin, since we got you on, how long you been in the league?
So this is my third year. So I started off in 22 with the Texans, and then last year I was the Lions, and this year the Cardinals.
Gotcha. All right. And so how's things going with the Cardinals aside from Kyler Murray?
Offense, we don't really have too many pieces, but we're putting up a lot of points. But defensively, I can't stop a single person, so I'm giving up like 40 points every single game, and it's just too hard to win some games.
So yeah, that's I think a problem for a lot of us in the league right now, some more than others. So how did you get into the league? I think we know. Let's put it on record.
I got in from Ray. He kept bragging about how this league was always better than the one we were always in with kind of our local friend group, and I kind of kept getting sick of how those leagues were run, even though I was part of a commissioner team. So joined this one, and I loved how you guys ran things. So I don't plan on leaving. So appreciate you guys. You guys do a great job.
So, you know, the question that's been burned on my mind is how much has Ray paid you to keep your mouth shut about stuff he's done in Michigan?
Not enough. No.
So, all right. The last question I got, and then I'll let Brandon and maybe Ray can put you on the spot since he knows you a little bit better. But who's the better softball player?
Between me and Ray?
Yeah.
I don't really play too much, but when I go out there, I think I do a pretty damn good job for him. So I'm gonna say me just to feed my ego a little bit.
I remember you saying you were gonna go save his season or at least save a game for him. So.
No, I went to join them for the playoff game, and unfortunately lost. But I thought I did pretty well. I don't think I was the reason why.
Gotcha. All right, good deal. Brandon, you want to pepper and put Kevin on the spot?
I'll try my best. Hey, Kevin, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
The way you've been touted in the league, I was expecting like a behemoth or someone with like a suit of armor on to intimidate me, but this is just as intimidating. The Cardinals. Okay, I'm going to put you on the spot here.
All right.
I talked on the last show with John. I said, listen, I don't understand why you took the Cardinals. I understand now why. So give me an idea of what you expect next season from the Cardinals. Give me a record.
Record. Well, I'm at 6-10 right now. So I lost 8 of them games by like 1 scores, like 8 points or less. So I'm thinking I should be back to that 10 wins if I get a little better squad behind me.
Okay, 10 wins. I can see it. I can see it. You're a quality owner. Second question, who's starting first day for the Cardinals at quarterback if you have your way?
There's 2 or 3 options as quarterbacks in the draft. I don't know if they'll fall to me. But honestly, I like Kyler Murray. Like if I can get him back for cheap, I mean that could be an option. I really fell in love with using him, but I can't spend that money. So gotta take advantage of them buyouts.
I feel like we're kindred spirits because Devontae Adams drops about 2 balls a game that he shouldn't, and I'm like, why are you making this much money? So when Ray was listing off those quarterbacks, could you go ahead and just do that one more time? I just need to make a list here of who's going to be available. You know what? I'll get you afterwards. Kevin, great to see you. I'll let Ray take the stick right now.
I think the only one you're going to want is Justin Herbert.
I think he's going to be the one available.
I don't even know. I guess honestly, and that's might be sad to say, of all the people that were listed, I think Zach Wilson would be my number 2. As crazy as that sounds. But I don't. Oh, it's hard to ask Kevin a question because
Yeah, I don't talk to him. Next person.
No, I do. Do you actually think you're going to get your 3 picks around like you set out to get?
I don't think so. I think I got the first 4 rounds covered. They got 1 trade lined up. But I don't have any, I think 5th round picks or 6th round picks. I don't think I have any 6th round picks. So my team's not great. Nobody probably wants any of my players. So I don't think that's going to happen, but I think I'm going to have that 17 to 18 range.
Okay. I got one more. This is kind of a hot take. I don't even want to say a hot take, but I'll just put you on the spot for over under. How many do you think are going to start next year that you draft? I'm going to say 12 and a half.
Yeah, probably over that because I got about 6 or 7 players on my team that I feel like I'm going to keep throughout the league. They're all going to be gone. So I got like 3 players on offense and like 3 on defense, and then my punter's pretty good rookie. So that's all I got.
All right, that's it for me, John. Anything more is going to be above PG 13.
I gotcha. All right. We don't want to get banned by YouTube. And, now, Kevin, on the flip side, you probably could start half your team just off the practice squad or not the practice squad, but your injury report there. I think you've got up to 7 players that are all healthy sitting up there. So we're all going to be keeping an eye and seeing what you're doing there. So, but I'm sure it was a good plan. We do have a couple big injury news. One of the things that's going to not help the Bengals try to get into the playoffs is losing Jamar Chase. He looks like he's out for the season with a torn rotator cuff, so that's not going to help him very much. Also, the Broncos trying to have to get deep into the playoffs without Javonte Williams, who's out with a hip injury. Jags are also going to be looking for some help in the backfield with Travis Etienne out for over a month with a hamstring. And then probably the worst luck is going to go to the Cowboys, who are trying to get into the playoffs and go deep, and they're not going to have the protection of Zach Martin on their line or Leighton Vander Esch, who's also out with a knee injury. So it'll probably be the conference finals before they can get those guys back. So not good news for those teams, that's for sure. Coming into the final couple weeks of the season, and we're getting a clearer picture of where we're at on who's going to make it into the playoffs, barring some last minute miracles. So looks like coming into it right now, not a big surprise. Tampa Bay has the first round bye over on the NFC side. And then some crappy user on the Colts has got the one on the AFC side sitting pretty. Ray's already predicted that means he just loses in the second round. So we'll see how that goes. Pretty humble though. But I guess what we wanted to do is kind of just go through these. I think everybody's got it up in front of them, and we can just run through them and just kind of get everybody's take on who's going to make it into the conference championship. So that would give us, we start off on the AFC side. We are sitting right now with, of course, the Colts, Broncos, Jets, Browns, Titans, Dolphins, and Jaguars. So out of those teams, what do you think, Ray? We'll start with you. You're the man with the plan. So out of those teams, who do you think is gonna be able to make it to the conference championship, and why?
Oh man, AFC is such a, I don't even know what the word is. The 3 through, I think it's 9 are within a game of each other, and it's just it's a bloodbath. I know you list off the teams that are sitting in the playoff picture right now, but I don't know. I couldn't even tell you who's going to make it, who's not. But I'm going to give a nod to Mo. I don't know what he's got going over there with Russ and what he's doing, but I'm going to give him a nod to get in the one spot. And then if I didn't pick myself, I don't know how I could live with that. But I will say the person I least want to play is probably, as much as I don't want to give it to him, Dorian. I don't know what he's doing, but he's taken me to the limit twice. And honestly, I think if one play would have went different, what was it, week 14 game, he would have beat me. So that's probably the one guy I don't want to see in the second round. But yeah, I'll go with me and Mo, and then Dorian is my sleeper.
Got nice. Yeah, I think I watched that game, and I don't think you got the lead until deep in the fourth, right? On that game,
feels like playing Kobe, to be honest.
Oh no, that's kind of a shot at Dorian then. So
no, Kobe's been too, but he slipped out. He's not even top 10. We're not. He doesn't deserve to be in this talk. So move on.
All right, there you go. Very good. All right, Brandon. So same question for you, but looking at the AFC, who do you think is going to make it to the championship game?
Well, let's see. Well, it's hard to not say the Colts after they spanked me earlier today. I mean, that was pretty impressive, but I get beat by a Girl Scout troop these days. I will say the best 13 seed in the entire league is in Las Vegas. Let me tell you, the Raiders all the ways down there. Oh goodness. But who's going to make the playoffs? Like Ray said, it's just a whole bunch of, like, I'm counting here. We got what, 5 teams for 2 spots? Is 3 spots? Either way, it's going to be a bloodbath these next 2 weeks. But to answer your question, conference championship, I'm going to say Colts and Jaguars, and that's not me anti-Broncos, but it's Connor and Ray. Ever since I come in the league, they just seem to kick everyone's ass. Mo, he still has to get that pedigree before I start giving him that nod. But this isn't, again, the anti-Mo show. So I just think it's the Colts and the Jags that'll meet up in the AFC.
Well, those are solid picks for sure. Now, Ray threw in a sleeper. So if you had to throw a sleeper in there.
Oh, sleeper. Boy, I'm going to say the Jets. And that's only, again, I'm basing this off if I played them or not. My watching GOI games has kind of dipped a little bit ever since family and work has taken the forefront. But if I had to say one team that absolutely impressed me, it was the Jets. If Bailey gets it rolling, I can see him making a strong run. That'd be my sleeper pick.
Yeah, that would be a good sleeper. Right now, he's the 7th 7 seed. So that would be a big road from him. He'd have to go through the Broncos and the Colts to get there. So, but hey, if he made it through those two, he probably would be a favorite at that point. So fair enough. All right. And Kevin, how about you? You've seen how we're doing it.
Yeah. Kind of looking at everything. It's kind of hard not to pick Ray. I don't want to. I want him to lose every single year, basically. That's good last Madden. He loses every single time, so that was nice. I think Dorian will meet Ray. Actually, if he can play a little bit more defense, from what I see, he's giving up too many points. I don't want him to either because I have his pick. But I think that could be a great matchup if we see them in the conference final.
All right, that would be, and of course, like I said, we don't know how everything's going to seed out, so they might meet each other before we get to that point. But those are definitely some good picks. How about a sleeper? Who do you think who could shock us all?
The only one I've played, I believe, was Ant, and his defense was pretty solid, and I feel like I've been pretty good offensively this season. So he kind of shut me down. So I think if he can keep that up and play pretty decent offense, he could make it down there.
All right, well that would be the Peter way, because Peter killed us all with defense in the last edition. So if somebody had, and especially right now, it seems like everybody's struggling a little bit with defense, some more than others, but definitely makes it tough. And I'm like the rest is, it's hard to pick against Ray. And I think that Ray just put the kiss of death on Dorian, because whenever he talks about somebody he's going to struggle with, that usually means they never beat him again. Because I think that's how Kobe was. So I think Connor is probably due down there with the Jags. It's been a minute since he, I think the last season he had some stuff going on, so he missed out. So that would probably be my picks, would be Colts and Jags. And then if I had a sleeper, my sleeper would be the Broncos. So I'm not much of a sleeper there. So all right. So that wraps up the AFC side. So now we can move over to the NFC side a little bit. Surprisingly, the Seahawks are not on this board anywhere. It's kind of a bummer. I probably set a record for the first team that never has a star next to their name as a meaningful game when we get to the week 17, but it is what it is. So we win our moral victory. So over there, we've got the Bucks. Quiet Peter is got the first round bye. And then we've got the Lions and the Bears. Rams, Giants, Cowboys, and Saints are who's in it right now. Of course, that could change, but we'll mix it up a little bit. Brandon, I'll let you go first. Who do you think might make it to the championship round?
Well, I'm going to start off with my sleeper. If we can pick the Broncos as a sleeper, the Buccaneers are my sleeper. Just kidding. No one's sleeping on the Bucks. It really is just Peter up here. Everyone else is down here, even though the records look kind of tight. So I'm going to say the Buccaneers, and I'm going to say the Giants. I don't know what happened to Jacob on why he has 7 losses with that offense, but I'll go with the Bucks and the Giants. You could probably count the Giants as a sleeper team in this aspect, but if I'm going real deep sleeper, like their coma type sleeper, I'm going to say the Cardinals. I'm trying to see if Kevin's paying attention. Did you say the Cardinals? No, I'm sorry, not the Cardinals. I'm going to say the shoot. Let's go with the Bears. I'll just say maybe they'll win a round. I don't see them going much in the way of long in the playoffs, but I'll go with the Bears. I'll see them as a sleeper.
That would be a good sleeper. So that would probably catch us all off guard. No offense to the Bears, but they've got some stiff competition on that side of the conference for sure. All right, Kevin, we'll let you go next. Who do you see coming out of our side of the world?
Peter. I got Peter and Denzel meeting in the conference championship. Just from I've been watching a lot of them guys trying to, get ready for next year, and those are the two that stand out to me. Sleeper wise, I got Jacob because just the players you got. So you got an insane team for season one with bunch of good receivers, and you had Jameson Williams and all the people he's added. It's a good team already.
All right. So great. Definitely some solid picks there as well. So, and Denzel, we talked about him the last time, so I'm not going to jinx him again, but he's definitely been a player that has all the ability you need to be super successful. All right. So, Ray, what do you got on this side?
You know, it's the exact opposite of the AFC, really. I think it's gonna be a lot of chalk. I really do. I don't see Peter losing in the NFC at all, to be honest with you. But Denzel and Kyle, I think you're gonna see those two facing in the divisional. It would be, and I give the slight edge to Denzel because he plays better defense. As much as I want to say Jacob, he just whatever week was it 12, 13, somewhere in that range. Whenever that week hits, his palms get sweaty. I don't know what happens to him, but yeah, I'm just gonna go with Peter, and I know I just said Denzel, but now I'm already thinking twice about it. I'm gonna stick with Denzel. That was my initial gut pick, so I'm gonna go with the top two seeds in the NFC.
All right, fair enough. You want to sneak a sleeper in there on us?
I'm gonna say, I mean, he's not a sleeper because he's gonna win his division, it looks like, but Dak, I know he's very up and down with his availability and his play, but he I think he can do it. He can't let one mistake to ruin the rest of the game. He's got to keep a level head. He can't let it affect him.
Gotcha.
Hey, John,
Yes, sir.
you're going to see something come across your desk here soon. It's a formal request for the Raiders to change to the NFC, because if the Bears get in with a losing record, you see this chair, it's going flying across the room, because I am in knee deep with about 12 other users that are around 500, and someone's going to get in sub 500 in the NFC. I'm sorry. That's
Well, so the moral of that story is next time we're picking teams, do like Kevin and follow me, and it'll help your odds a little bit for sure. So
Didn't help.
you write that down too.
What is anybody know what Phil's record is? Bears?
6-9.
And he's playing tonight. I think he's playing Marty.
Yeah.
Does Marty have a shot to get in? He might sneak in there too.
5-10. Yeah.
I mean,
just needs things to fall right. So that's actually that's a playoff. What is it? That's got playoff potential. That's a 6-9 versus a 5-10. I gotta tell you, I'm beside myself right now. It's disgusting.
So, that's what you get for picking your favorite team, the Raiders. So,
I'm fighting words, John.
so, all right, and I'm kind of more of the same. Although the Rams, he has some really dominant games. He's lost a couple too, but he's had some dominant games. Matt could potentially get hot at the right time. It's hard to say. I think the NFC, it's going to be Peter, and I want to go with the Lions too, and Denzel. But the sleeper, I think you can almost roll the dice a little bit there and see who shows up. But I am going to go on record right now. We're not going to talk about the Super Bowl, but I'm going to go and make a hot take that it's not going to be Peter and Ray in the Super Bowl. That's what I'm going to go on the record. I don't know which one won't be there, but one of them is not going to be there. So we'll see what happens. So we're good. So we'll record these, and we can come back later and see who knew what was going to happen before it happened. So speaking of that, I did want to throw a curveball at you guys a little bit. So we talked a little bit about defense a couple times during the show, and I know they just did an update. And I think, Kevin, I don't know if you've played since the update, but looks like I didn't realize the wounds were still fresh because Ray and Brandon just played today. But did you guys notice anything different in the gameplay? I've heard a lot on the internet, but
so Brandon did pause it somewhere in the middle, and then I don't know if he had any kicking glitches, but I didn't have any problems with the kicking like we did before.
Yeah, no problems kicking. In fact, EA was able to code the box away, so I was able to have actual kickoffs go to the end zone. Field goal wise, it was no problem. So they fixed that, thank goodness. It only took them 2 weeks. Defense wise, I don't know. I suck on defense anyway, so I didn't see any real changes.
Yeah, that was the rumor is supposedly they've tightened it up a little bit and made it a little bit more. I'm not exactly sure. Something to do with how the zones are supposed to play a little bit. So, Kevin, have you had a chance to mess with it since the update came out?
I can't remember when the update was, but I played late last night. I didn't see any difference though. But I watched Kobe and Dorian play, and I didn't even see the fourth quarter, but looked like it was going to be a 50-50 game. So it didn't look like it's helping them at all.
That's user error.
Yeah.
Well, those two, it's hard to watch the game because all you do is listen to the two of them. That is going to be the chattiest game in the history of Madden when those two guys are on together. So, I mean, they're just dogging each other throughout the entire game. So
I am so glad that I don't have chat up when I play, because it's me yelling at imaginary players on why they're not in their right spot. I think Ray threw a pass that went right over my linebacker's head. I think it was like right above his helmet. I'm like, all you have to do is just get your hand up. You could even like just jump up a little bit and hit the ball. Anyway, I'm yelling at imaginary players, so I don't chat when I play.
Yeah, I definitely couldn't have coherent talk when I play. That's for sure. So, all right. So, I guess I think Brandon, you mentioned something about wanting to make some new friends.
Absolutely, absolutely, John. I wanted to highlight a few individuals who are really, really taking off. And I thought at midseason they might be dead, but really they've become one with me. I feel like I'm living vicariously through them. They're my bosom buddies. They're Brandon's bosom buddies. And that is a working title. I'll probably have something next week, but for right now, these are the individuals, the teams that I feel are really making that run since midseason. First off, I already mentioned them, the Bears. I played Phil to a 19-9 game, and it wasn't even. I won 19-9, but really he should have won that game if Justin Fields could hang on to the ball. I thought he was left for dead. And again, we've talked about the NFC, how it's a little below par, but hey, that's not his fault. He's still keeping in it, and he's got that 7 seed. So good for him. Again, another one I mentioned, the Jets. He kicked my butt. And I think that was just the rocket boost he needed to go right up the standings, because ever since then he's been kicking butt and really he's in charge of what could happen in the AFC East. I feel so good for Bailey. Third, and this isn't just because you're on and you're the commissioner, but the Seahawks. I mean, congratulations on your first win, John, and you've gotten 2 more on top of that. Hey, the season it's not over yet, so there's still 5 wins ahead of you, right? I mean, you can get 2 more on your docket, yeah.
That's it. Set a new world record.
Yeah, don't ruin your draft position though. Don't go too far up, okay?
Exactly.
Congratulations to you. Texans. Again, I sang Kobe's praises last time, but really, he was left for dead at what 0-12 or whatever he was. Again, that's hyperbole, but he was still doing pretty well around midseason. He's not going to make the playoffs, but again, the Texans are always something. Kobe's always someone to watch out for. So good for him for sticking with it. And then another team we had mentioned, the Rams. I was the Rams last year. That was god awful. I don't care if I made the playoffs one season. That took every inch and scrap of Madden talent I had to get to a wild card spot. And sorry, John, Kyle's not in exactly the toughest division. Sorry, Kevin, but he's playing the schedule that's given to him, and I think he'll get the number 1 seed, if not next season, probably the season after that. So good for him. But I'm going to give a wag of my finger to the Colts, because I only scored 7 points and he piled it on after he got to 14. He didn't need to score another point. He didn't, but he did. He kept scoring. So, John, again, another formal request to, I think Ray broke the rules there. After 14, he really didn't need to score anymore.
Yeah, he should have known better, I think, right?
I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll talk offline.
Shame on you, Ray. So, and Kevin, I think you got dissed twice in that segment, because first, the first he said we're not in the greatest division. And then second of all, he's predicting me winning out, and one of my games is against you. So
Oh,
wow.
man, I'm sorry, Kevin.
Yeah, that's okay. I deserve it. Just pile it on.
Hey, you want the better draft pick, right? I mean,
Yeah,
that's one game I will watch just to see who's actually trying.
So you can tell if I put Geno Smith back out there, I'm not trying. So
That bad,
put
huh?
you in the first game.
what was that now?
You put Gino in the first game we played.
See, I'm just trying to, I try to play the long game. So I'm trying to lull you to sleep a little bit. And then maybe it's usually like when there's like half a season left in the edition. That's when I figure out like 4 plays and I can actually be competitive and nobody else cares. So, all right. Well, good. I think that was a pretty good show. We covered a lot of ground today. Any final shots, Kevin, for the league? Anybody you want to call out or challenge or?
No, not really. I'm not in position to call anybody out.
Come on.
We'll see after my draft, then I'll start talking.
Kevin's coming across as a lover, not a fighter. So
One owner that just irked you. Just pick one owner.
He's
You guys suck. I hope you lose your last game. I'm hoping it's Dorian, so Kobe's pick's even better for me.
there you go. So, all right, Brandon. I know you just gave a segment. Any final thoughts before we call it a show?
Boy, the only thing that's going through my mind now is how awful the Raiders are, and I mean, I can't wait to get to the off season to see what actionable change I can make on this roster. You know what? The less I have to talk about the Raiders, the better. So, no. Good luck to everyone going into the playoffs. I hope we don't see chalk. I hope we see a few new faces, but it should be entertaining. Should be fun to see.
And, I guess this is probably a good time in front of the entire league to say, Brandon, stop sending requests to move the Raiders or change their name. It's not going to happen. All right, Ray, what's up? Final words.
My thing is just everybody just play your games, finish out the year. We know if you're not in the playoffs, you don't want to play as much. Just put those rookies in like they do in real life. Play all those backups, get some XP, grind it out. Don't look to lose and just not play. Let's finish this thing out, and you other 13 in the playoffs are going down.
Nice. And, and I think that is definitely some good advice, and trust it, from a perennial loser that's always out of playoff contention. This is the time. Try a new playbook, try some different things, try to be a spoiler. If you can't get into the playoffs, maybe you can become famous for making somebody else not get into the playoffs. So, and nothing else, build some experience. So trust me, I've never done it in like 17 seasons of Madden. But I actually finally got that thing where I was a spoiler and I got like 40,000 XP and 10 morale. It was like amazing. It was like winning the lottery. I didn't even know it existed. So, all right. Well, everybody, thanks to the team and our guests. Hope everybody has a great end to your season. And we look forward to the next update on the playoff show. Thanks, everybody.